January 12, 1966. 3:30 p.m. Dr. Marcus Webb filled the syringe with what looked like insulin, but inside the clear liquid was 0.3 milligrams of arsenic. Enough to slowly kill a man over the course of 12 months. Enough to make it look like complications from diabetes. Webb had been poisoning Bumpy Johnson for 6 months, injecting him twice a week with what Bumpy thought was life-saving medicine. And Bumpy knew. He'd known from the very first injection. But he let it continue because Bumpy Johnson had learned something about his enemies. Sometimes the best way to destroy them isn't to stop them from betraying you. It's to let them think they're succeeding while you build the trap that will destroy them forever. This is the story of how 6 months of slow poison became the most successful sting operation in Harlem history. To understand what happened in Dr. Webb's office on West 16th Street, you need to understand who Marcus Webb was in January 1966. 45 years old, one of the most respected physicians in Harlem, Webb had been treating Bumpy's diabetes for 3 years. Ever since Bumpy was diagnosed in 1963. But Dr. Webb had a secret problem. He was addicted to gambling, and he owed the Colombo crime family $40,000. Money he'd lost betting on boxing matches, horse races, and poker games. The Colombos had given Dr. Webb a choice. Pay the debt in 30 days or they'd kill him and his family. Dr. Webb had tried everything. Borrowed from friends, sold his medical equipment, even mortgaged his practice. But $40,000 was more money than a Harlem doctor could raise in 30 days. That's when Vincent the Doctor Torino made him an offer that would change everything. December 15, 1965. 8 p.m. Dr. Webb was closing his practice when Vincent walked into his office. Vincent was the Colombo's specialist in professional recruitment. He didn't break legs or threaten families. He found professionals with problems and turned them into assets. Doctors, lawyers, accountants, judges. People whose careers gave them access to valuable targets. Dr. Webb, Vincent said quietly, sitting down in the patient chair. I understand you have a financial problem. Dr. Webb's hands started shaking. I'm working on it. I just need more time. Time is exactly what you don't have. But I have a solution. A way to clear your debt and earn $50,000 in the process. Vincent opened a briefcase. Inside were medical files, photographs, and detailed information about Bumpy Johnson's daily routine. Bumpy Johnson comes to see you twice a week for insulin injections. Tuesdays and Fridays, 3:30 p.m., very regular schedule. Dr. Webb stared at the files. What are you asking me to do? Replace his insulin with something else. Something that will kill him slowly. Over the course of 12 months, make it look like diabetic complications. Natural causes. I can't do that. I'm a doctor. I took an oath. Vincent reached into the briefcase again, pulled out photographs of Dr. Webb's wife and 2 young children. And I took an oath too, Dr. Webb. An oath to collect debts. Your choice is simple. Kill one man slowly and live rich, or refuse and watch your family die quickly. Vincent stood up, left the briefcase on Dr. Webb's desk. You have 48 hours to decide. If you agree, I'll provide everything you need. Special insulin, medical records to cover the treatment, even a new identity for after Bumpy dies. $50,000 and a clean slate. Dr. Webb spent 2 days staring at those files, thinking about his choices. Kill the most respected man in Harlem to save his family. Or let the Colombos kill everyone he loved to protect his medical ethics. In the end, the choice wasn't really a choice at all. December 17, 1965. Dr. Webb called Vincent Torino and said 2 words. I'm in. What Dr. Webb didn't know was that Bumpy Johnson had been expecting this approach for months. Bumpy made it his business to know about everyone in his world. Their strengths, their weaknesses, their debts, their secrets. And Bumpy had known about Dr. Webb's gambling problem since it started. More importantly, Bumpy knew that desperate doctors made perfect weapons for his enemies. The Colombos had used this strategy before. Find a medical professional with debts, turn them into an assassin, Let them kill the target slowly with untraceable poisons. Clean, professional, and almost impossible to prove. So when Bumpy heard that Dr. Webb owed money to the Colombos, he didn't fire his doctor. He prepared for war. December 20th, 1965. 3 days before Dr. Webb was supposed to start poisoning him, Bumpy met with Dr. Samuel Mitchell, a chemistry professor at Columbia University, and an old friend who owed Bumpy several favors. "I need you to analyze something for me," Bumpy said, handing Dr. Mitchell a vial of clear liquid. "Tell me exactly what's in it." The liquid was insulin, taken from Dr. Webb's office during a break-in that looked like a simple robbery. Dr. Mitchell ran every test he could think of. The results were exactly what Bumpy expected. Pure insulin, no additives, no poisons. Dr. Webb hadn't started the assassination yet. But Bumpy also gave Dr. Mitchell something else. A small device that looked like a pen but was actually a sophisticated chemical detector. "I need you to modify this to detect arsenic in liquid form. Small enough to hide in my jacket, sensitive enough to test medicine without anyone noticing." January 10th, 1966. Dr. Webb received his assassination kit from Vincent Torino. 12 vials of what looked like insulin, but contained carefully measured doses of arsenic. Each injection would deliver 0.3 milligrams. Not enough to cause immediate symptoms, but enough to accumulate in Bumpy's system over time. Death would come slowly, gradually, looking like natural complications from untreated diabetes. January 12th, 1966. 3:30 p.m. Bumpy Johnson walked into Dr. Webb's office for his regular insulin injection. Dr. Webb was nervous, hands shaking, sweat beading on his forehead. "You okay, Doc?" Bumpy asked. "You look like you've seen a ghost." "Just tired," Dr. Webb replied, preparing the syringe with trembling fingers. "Been working too many hours." Bumpy sat down in the examination chair, rolled up his sleeve. Dr. Webb approached with the poisoned insulin, needle ready. That's when Bumpy did something that terrified Dr. Webb. He smiled, not a friendly smile, not a patient smile. The cold, calculating smile that had made Dutch Schultz and Lucky Luciano back down. "Doc," Bumpy said quietly, "before you give me that injection, I want to ask you something." Dr. Webb froze. "What? How much money do you owe Vincent Torino?" The syringe fell from Dr. Webb's hand, clattering to the floor. The clear liquid spread across the linoleum, like spilled water. But Bumpy knew it wasn't water. And Dr. Webb knew that Bumpy knew. "Mr. Johnson, I can explain. You owe the Colombos $40,000, Bumpy continued calmly. "Vincent offered to forgive the debt plus $50,000 cash if you kill me with poisoned insulin over the course of 12 months. The first injection was supposed to happen today." Dr. Webb sank into his chair, face pale, hands shaking. "How did you—" "I know everything, Doc. The question is, what are you going to do about it?" Dr. Webb stared at the spilled poison on his floor. "I'm sorry. They threatened my family. I didn't have a choice." "There's always a choice," Bumpy said. "The question is whether you're smart enough to make the right one." That's when Bumpy made an offer that shocked Dr. Webb completely. "Here's what we're going to do. You're going to continue meeting with Vincent Torino. You're going to take his poison. You're going to inject me twice a week like we planned. But instead of using his arsenic, you're going to use real insulin, and I'm going to pretend to get slowly sicker." Dr. Webb was confused. "I don't understand. Why would you want to fake your own death?" "Because I want Vincent and the Colombos to think they're winning. I want them to get comfortable, confident, careless. And while they're celebrating my slow decline, I'm going to be documenting every detail of their assassination plot." Bumpy pulled out a small recording device. "Every conversation you have with Vincent, you're going to record. Every instruction he gives you, every payment he makes, every detail about their operation. You're going to build the case that destroys them. And if I refuse, then I'll kill you right now, dump your body in the Hudson River, and let the Colombos come after me directly. But if you help me, if you become my double agent, then I'll pay off your debt, give you $50,000 of your own, and protect your family from the Colombos forever. Dr. Webb stared at Bumpy for a long time. Then he asked the obvious question. What about Vincent? He's going to want to see results, proof that you're getting sicker. Bumpy smiled again. Leave that to me, Doc. I've been fooling people about my health for 40 years. For the next 6 months, Dr. Webb injected Bumpy Johnson twice a week with real insulin, while reporting to Vincent Torino that the assassination was proceeding perfectly. And Bumpy put on the performance of his lifetime. Week by week, Bumpy started looking sicker. He lost weight, moved slower, seemed weaker. He canceled meetings, stayed home more often, let other people handle business that he normally controlled personally. To anyone watching, including Vincent Torino, it looked like Bumpy Johnson was dying slowly from diabetic complications. But what was really happening was much more sophisticated. Bumpy was using makeup to look pale and thin. He was taking acting lessons from a theater coach in Greenwich Village. He was carefully choreographing his public appearances to show gradual decline. And most importantly, he was using Dr. Webb to gather evidence that would destroy the Colombo family's assassination operation. Every conversation between Dr. Webb and Vincent was recorded. Every payment was documented. Every instruction about the poison was preserved on tape. Bumpy was building the most comprehensive case against organized crime assassination that law enforcement had ever seen. But Bumpy wasn't planning to give the evidence to law enforcement. He was planning something much more permanent. June 15, 1966. 6 months after the poisoning began, Vincent Torino was confident that Bumpy Johnson would be dead within 8 weeks. The reports from Dr. Webb were encouraging. Bumpy was losing weight rapidly, showing signs of kidney failure, and had been hospitalized twice with diabetic complications. What Vincent didn't know was that every detail he'd shared with Dr. Webb had been recorded and passed along to Bumpy, including the location of Vincent's safe house in Queens, the names of his associates, and his plans to expand the medical assassination program to other targets. June 20th, 1966. 11 p.m. Vincent Torino was having dinner at his safe house when the lights went out. Emergency lighting kicked in, revealing 12 men in dark suits standing around the room. In the center, looking perfectly healthy and very much alive, was Bumpy Johnson. "Hello, Vincent," Bumpy said calmly. "Heard you've been asking about my health." Vincent tried to reach for his gun, but found his hands zip-tied to his chair. "Impossible," the doctor said. The doctor said what I told him to say. "You've been injecting me with real insulin for 6 months, Vincent. I'm healthier now than I was when you started trying to kill me." Bumpy walked around Vincent's chair slowly. "But you want to know the beautiful part of this whole operation? You documented everything. Every payment to Dr. Webb, every instruction about the poison, every detail about your medical assassination program." Bumpy pulled out a briefcase full of recording equipment, photographs, and financial records. "You confessed to attempted murder, conspiracy, and running a criminal organization. All recorded, all witnessed, all admissible in court. You're going to turn me in. I'm going to give you a choice. The same choice you gave Dr. Webb. You can die right now, right here, and I'll let the police find your body with all this evidence. Or you can disappear forever, leave New York, change your identity, and never let me hear your name again." Vincent stared at the evidence of his own destruction. "What about my boss? Colombo will want to know what happened. Colombo will be told that you died of natural causes. Heart attack. Very sad. Your funeral will be lovely." Vincent chose life. He left New York that night and was never seen again. The Colombo family believed he died of a heart attack while working on the Bumpy Johnson assassination. They never learned that their most successful operation had been turned against them. Dr. Webb's gambling debts were paid in full. His family was relocated to California, where he opened a new practice and never gambled again. Every year on January 12th, the anniversary of his first poison injection, Dr. Webb received a card in the mail. No signature, no return address, just a simple message. "Thanks for choosing the right needle." But the most important result of the 6-month operation wasn't Vincent's disappearance or Dr. Webb's redemption. It was the message Bumpy sent to every crime family in New York. You can't kill Bumpy Johnson with guns, bombs, or poison, and if you try, he'll turn your assassination into his victory. The recording equipment Bumpy used during the operation was donated anonymously to the NYPD. The evidence helped law enforcement understand how organized crime recruited medical professionals for assassinations. 3 other doctors came forward after Vincent's disappearance, admitting they'd been approached by crime families with similar offers. January 12, 1966. Dr. Webb injected Bumpy Johnson with what he thought was poison. For 6 months, he believed he was slowly killing the most powerful man in Harlem. Instead, he was helping destroy the most sophisticated assassination program in organized crime history. Bumpy Johnson proved something that day that every criminal should remember. The most dangerous weapon isn't the poison you're given. It's the intelligence to turn that poison into medicine, betrayal into loyalty, and enemies into allies. And sometimes, the best way to win a war isn't to fight it. It's to let your enemies think they're winning while you build the trap that destroys them completely. If this story of intelligence, patience, and turning assassination into victory moved you, hit that subscribe button. Drop a like if you understand that real power isn't about avoiding betrayal, it's about controlling it. Share this with someone who knows that the smartest criminals don't fear their enemies, they recruit them. What would you have done in Dr. Webb's position? Let me know in the comments below.